What's happening? Andy here. I am joined today by Chris Polek of Polek and Polek. How you doing today, Chris?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, Andy. It's great to see you.
It is great to see you. We just had a quick catch up before we started recording, but it was funny to think the last time we did one of these, you and I got together on one of these chats. It was about a year ago, and you were home. I am home. I'm always home, but it's nice to see you look like you're back at your office.
I am. I'm back at my office. We've had our office, back people coming in voluntarily for since the end of last summer. Actually when we had the pandemic hit, our lease was coming up on our building in a little under 2 years, and we figured, you know what, maybe it's a good time to talk about renewing that instead of doing it later. So while everybody was in lockdown, we took advantage of being able to do all the renovations while everyone was home. So when the summer was finished, everybody got to come back to new offices with a fresh look. So there was a good thing that came out of that part of the pandemic.
That is awesome. So everybody gets a fresh start and reinvigorated. Everyone was home. Most people, it seems like can't wait to get back to normalcy. Can't wait to get back to work, and now they've got a nice new fresh place to do it there. Before we get too far into this chat, why don't you give us an overview? What's the elevator speech on who is Polek and Polek? Tell my viewers.
Well, with Polek and Polek, dealers have been turning to Polek and Polek to, help make their business more profitable, and that's been a particular important time during the pandemic. And we help by supporting them with very quality, reliable choice of compatible products that they have as an alternative to the OEM, to put more profits in their business, where they can save anywhere from 30 to 50% over what dealers buy from the OEM.
So we're talking toner, we're talking ink. What other types of products? I know there's staple refills, because I've seen some great swing line ads on your website. The swing line ad is one of my personal favorites. What other stuff do you guys offer?
Yeah, it's pretty much the toners. As you said, the swing line staple refills are a very popular item for us, and we have a lot of technician replaceable parts like drum units, et cetera, that are also very very popular, that are regularly replaced, and we help the dealers save a lot of money in those areas as well.
And you guys cover just about, pretty much all the brands, right? Just about all the brands. So if you're a Ricoh, a Konica, just a Canon, any brands out there, Lexmark, HP, all of them.
Yep.
You've got products that'll fit in these, and they can improve their margins, right? It's in theory, it's supposed it's going to be a little more cost effective than maybe what they're getting from their manufacturers.
Yeah, well, what we're trying to do is help them to keep more in their bank account instead of someone else's. And another area where we can help too is we do have a lot of toners for current machines as well too. So when you're in a position where you can save almost up to 50% over the OEM, we've had many dealers be able to close deals and place bigger fleets of machines by using our toner, where they wouldn't have been able to do that if they had to buy OEM toner.
So saving money in that respect. And then also, I would imagine, sometimes the products they age out, right? Some of the manufacturers stop making some of the parts and toners and things. And is that something where you would maybe step in and be able to help a dealer, or do you go farther back?
Sometimes, if we still have them, honestly, when it gets to the point that the manufacturer decides that they're going to start discontinuing, we're probably not that far behind. However, especially during the pandemic, many dealers had customers that didn't want to upgrade their machines because they just, uncertainty. They didn't know what was going to happen, and they said, let's just hang on to what we have. And when customers are doing that, that's another good area for those machines that are older, that they can use products from us to help keep their expenses down, not have to put higher priced OEM parts in them. If maybe when things get a little more certain within another 12 or 18 months, that they'll be ready to upgrade to something new.
Well, that is an issue, right? Month to month is every sales rep's worst nightmare, and in the last 18 months, that's kind of been the trend. I think more often than not, sales reps have gone in and found that their customers had put the brakes on deals, you know, slowed things down, maybe gone an extra month, 2, 3, 6 months in some cases, you know, and that's because their people aren't back yet. They just don't know when they're coming back and how they want to handle that, right? So here's an option for dealers.
That's very frustrating for a salesperson, for sure.
Yeah, you know, I hated it. I hated it more than anything when I was selling, and I didn't have a pandemic to deal with. So it's just here. So here's an opportunity, an option, you know, an alternative for those listening, for those watching, where you know, if you're stuck, if you're in a deal that just keeps kind of spinning its wheels and extending, you know, maybe there's a way for you to go in and kind of backdoor it with some products from Polek and Polek that would help with that. I gotta ask, where did you get that amazing tan that you got there?
Well, you know, it's summertime, so
yeah.
I just didn't get to do as much last summer, but well, yeah, now I've been spending some time at the beach, and last week I was in Orlando, which was very sunny and hot. I was there for the IBPI regional meeting, and that was a fantastic event. They had a great turnout. It was the first live event that I've been to in 2021 so far, and I think they probably had, you know, a little over 80 people there, maybe 80 to 90 people. So it was a really bigger turnout than you would have expected under the circumstances. Yeah. And everyone was real excited and happy to be there and see everyone again. So that was fantastic from that aspect. And there were some of the people there that this was the first event that they had been to since the previous IBPI event. And when that happened, that was right in the throes when all of this was getting started. I remember we were down there at the IBPI event, and the first news that we heard was that they canceled the NCAA tournament. And then we finished up the BTA event was right after that, starting that Friday. And then they were talking about that, you know, Disney was going to be shutting down by Tuesday, that people had to get out. So it was kind of a mad scramble for everyone to get home. And we're getting home that week and just getting settled in. And by the end of the week, they said that's when the lockdowns were going to begin.
Well, I remember that because it led into BTA, and then when BTA happened, like people went, but then people got there and a lot of people just turned around and came back. People were getting stuck there. Some people I know had to actually drive out of there because it was just, you know, it was horrible. It was like the last flights out of Hanoi, right? I mean, it was just like everything's shutting down. You could feel the wave of this whole pandemic coming, and that was I think the last event anybody went to, and I wasn't there. I was just back from something else, but I just remember all you guys, all my friends down there. You know, just everything kind of came to a grinding stop, and that was it for a while, you know. And it's good to be back, though. I'm glad. I've been going to a bunch of shows myself. Are you going to be going to BTA in August?
I won't be there for that one, unfortunately. We're planning on participating in the one in September, which they consolidated.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, scheduling conflicts didn't allow me, and although that looks like it's going to be a fantastic event.
Well, I think to your point about the IBPI meeting, you know, it's just it's one of these things where people are pent up. They're ready to get back to just doing things the way they used to do them. And IBPI, maybe we could take a second and talk about that and why Polek and Polek are members. But you know, to me, one of the biggest no-brainers in this industry, just a great association, right? And it's rebates. It's, you know, you wind up as a member, any dealer can join, and it's on stuff that you would normally buy. It's companies like you, and it's companies like other companies that are, you know, probably in your warehouse right now if you're a dealer watching this. And so, you know, the benefit to you is it's stuff you're already buying. It costs you a very nominal, very small fee to sign up, whether you're a big dealer, small dealer, it's the same fee, I believe. And then you get rebate checks.
Actually, the fee to join, it's a one-time fee.
Yeah, one time.
So $500, not an annual. So I would say to any dealer that is not part of the IBPI, you need to check it out, just for the reasons that you said. There's probably an extremely good chance that you're already doing business with those with some vendors that are already involved. And I'd be the first one to say, if you wanted to joined the IBPI and couldn't get your $500 back within that first year here, I'd subsidize that, because there's got to be no way that you can't do that.
I agree.
Find something for me. I'd definitely be able to find a way for you to earn that $500.
Well, and there's just tons of companies in all different areas of a dealer's business where they can take advantage of that. And then the checks start coming in, and if the bigger you are, the more you spend, you start getting some pretty nice rebate checks back. And at the end of the year, you're going to wind up, a nice little trip, worth of rebate checks or something that you could probably use around the office. So
yeah, if you had Mark Grice on here, he could tell you the exact numbers, but I know from what he presented at the IBPI meeting that for last year it was in the upper 600,000s that they distributed in rebates back amongst to all of their members, and they've got maybe
$1,000. That's amazing,
and they've got maybe close to 500 members. So,
yep.
I mean, you can do some quick math, but the point is that the more you spend within the programs, you accumulate those rebates over the course of the year and get it back. So,
and then these prices, right? The pricing that they get, I'll put you on the spot a little bit, but the pricing, my understanding is the pricing that they get through IBPI is generally going to be better than they're going to get on their own. Is that still true?
Yes, that's true. If you're participating in IBPI, at least with us, you get access to the the best pricing programs that we can put together for you too, and you're going to get something back with a rebate from the IBPI based on what they do. So the IBPI encourages their members to do business with all the approved vendors that they have, because they know they accumulate rebate from the vendors, and they'll redistribute their profits, and it's pretty substantial.
So how long has Polek and Polek been in IBPI with that association? I know you belong to many.
Oh, I think we've been involved there probably for the past 20 years. Almost.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So the IBPI conferences, a lot of the times they don't always do this. The one that was last week they didn't, but a lot of times they'll line it up with a BTA, which is kind of why we they're not part of BTA, but I guess they kind of coexist or get along enough that they tend to have the IBPI meetings sometimes either right before or right after, usually right before some of the BTA meetings. So that's kind of why that last one back in last year was back to back IBPI leading into BTA, but they do that quite often, which is nice. I like when when the conferences sort of team up and make it a little easier, one less trip for everybody, right? So
one flight.
Yeah, one flight, which makes it a lot easier. So big news, anything coming up with Polek and Polek before we wrap up? Do you got any specials you want to talk about? Anything you guys are working on? Any big news for the summer? What's going on? What's happening?
Well, we've definitely been working on some new products of coming out in the fall. We've been introducing, don't want to get into too brand specific of everybody, because it's not it doesn't always apply to everyone here, but I'd say the best thing is to give us a call and let us talk about your business. We can show you some ideas of how we're helping other dealers out. The biggest knowledge that that people miss on is the stuff that they don't realize that they don't know. And that's a lot of things that I heard when people went to the IBPI meeting. I'd hear people say things such as, wow, I didn't even know that there was this type of vendor, and how much they're going to help our business. And you don't know these things until you actually show up and get to have the conversations with people. And we're always so busy. The best thing to do is, hey, let's just take 5 or 10 minutes to talk here. If we can help you, we'll tell you how we can help you. And if we can't help you, we'll tell you that too. We're not here to take your valuable time either. But we are helping many dealers across the country. I've got to believe that there's a few ways that we can help you. I haven't talked to any dealers through this whole pandemic where they said keeping control of expenses was important to them. And at Polek and Polek, our philosophy is always trying to help you keep more money in your bank account instead of putting it in someone else's.
Well, certainly you guys have a model for that, and to your point, look, you can go buy off a catalog at any one of these. There's a lot of places where you can get parts and you can get supplies, and and their prices are right online, and you don't necessarily know what you're getting. You don't get that consultative service, that value add that someone like you guys provide, where you can talk about other dealers you've worked with and talk about how you've helped them and be specific about it, rather than just buying a SKU and having some pallet show up and then you've got to kind of work it out on your own. Reinventing the wheel is not necessary in this industry. There's a lot of people who've done it, paved the way for us, and we're lucky enough that a lot of them will share it, right? So it's there's always, I think, a value in having a conversation, a chat, and then getting some good advice to go with some of the products that you guys are offering. So great seeing you, Chris, as always. I look forward to the next one. I was hoping I'd see you at BTA, but we'll catch up soon, I'm sure. And maybe I'll get down to Jersey and get a tour now that you're open.
Yes, come on down. It'll be good it'll good to see you, live and in person as opposed to through a screen.
Yes, I should plan a trip down to New Jersey. I will definitely let you know if I get down that way. Chris, great seeing you. We will talk soon. You have a great rest of your week.
Okay, you too, Andy.
Thank you.
Bye.